2018, I dropped into depression.
Yeah.
That was it. Like that, and I do put it down to that because it is psychologically, I just couldn't handle it. So I mean, like one of my videos, how to sneak drugs into a festival, entirely parody, entirely satire. Unless sneaking a heroin needle strapped to your dick works, it might do. I've never tried it. Right? I've never tried.
I've literally got one strapped to mine right now.
Yeah.
Tiny little needle.
I was going to say that
just in case this podcast was shit, and then at half time I could just put it in.
That's it.
Mainline some heroin.
That's it. But that was sort of like, even though I was doing the music festival stuff, I stayed true to myself in the sense that I wanted to continue making it funny. Actually, that whole setup was shady because that video. We went to a park because we thought we'd do it in like a drug deal kind of.
Don't tell me you actually had to find a heroin needle.
No. But what we did,
because I know where you're from.
Well, this is it. This is it. I tell you what. Shout out to Yarmouth. It's a shithole.
Oh,
cool. See, here we go. See, like, yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, no, it's actually
turn his mic off. How do we turn his mic
off? That's it, mate. I don't blame you. No, it's a lovely village just outside. I am not from Yarmouth.
I've always found Yarmouth ironic that they started it with great.
I know, it's far from. But then you go a little bit east.
And it gets worse.
Lowestoft, mate.
My dad's from Lowestoft. He lives in Lowestoft.
He's judging me. Is his dad? Jesus, you're the spawn of Lowestoft.
No, he's from London. He's from London. I'm fine.
Fair. But yeah, this video, we it was at night. We went to a park, and it was all staged like a drug deal. And my friend, he's got a district nurse. For a mum, that was his mum's a district nurse. His mum's a district nurse, so she got me like an NHS syringe.
Of course she did, Jordan. All right.
Yeah. And then I filled it up with Pepsi Max, so it looked like heroin.
Is that?
Yeah. And then I took a teaspoon. I put self-raisin flour on my tash to look like I'd done a load of coke. But the thing was, I said to Loz when we were filming, I was like, mate, right, because the police go past here quite a lot. I was like, if they turn up, they're going to see a dirty needle. They're going to see substance on my tash. They're going to see a spoon. And because it literally, the video starts with me like with the lighter underneath the teaspoon. Like,
so do you want to sneak some drugs into a festival, geese?
And I was like, this is going to look awful.
That's just like ID down there. They'll go, fair enough, lads.
He's making a living. We've all got to make a living. But the thing was, I just said to Loz, if the police turn up, for guys, do not stop filming. Because that would just make premium content better than the actual video was. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's the sort of stuff that I was doing. Even though I was in the music festival niche, which it most definitely is a niche. I was still trying to make it funny.
Your big worry is pigeonholing yourself, which is what I think a fuck ton of YouTubers do. And I think a lot of people just in the entertainment industry do anyway, just without knowing. Like, how many times have we seen like mainstream music artists change up their genre and just fall off the wagon and stuff like that? So it is a fucking nightmare. And it's kind of, obviously, I remember I said this on the True Geordie podcast once upon a time about how I've been there, and I feel exactly the same. If I do a video not slagging off a YouTuber, people are like, or if I do a podcast, people are like, get back in your shed. Like they literally boil you down to, you are a little shed gremlin that needs to sit there and talk about Zoella's new book, right? There's only amount of times for your own sanity you can do that and still be passionate about it. So how do you, and I mean this in the least patronising way possible, as someone who is up and coming, when I say that, that's just a polite way of saying as someone who isn't getting the views necessarily, how do you break from your only content strand that seems to be working into what you want to do and still get the views and not alienate all of the audience that originally subscribed for that kind of content?
So I want to be a YouTuber. I am a full-time YouTuber. Like I said, nearly homeless, but I'm living the dream. This is apparently the dream. So if this is all I'm going to get, I'll take it. That's it. I've made it. You know what I mean? But 100,000 people go to Reading Festival. Where am I going to get 1 million subscribers from? That doesn't happen.
You're limited.
100%. And also, like, whatever video I do is so niche, although it does all right for views, you know, like for me, like 30,000 views, quality. It's never going to get 250,000. I'm like, if I keep doing that, where is my video that hits 1 million views gonna be? I you know, I'm doing it full time, even though, like I say, I'm not making much. But I'm only doing it full time because of the people that started to love my content from the festival. So I feel like I owe a fair bit to them because I'm doing what I do. I'm doing what I love because they've backed me.
Yeah.
And then am I just going to be like, right? you know, I'm glad you enjoyed the content, but I'm now going to make this.
Yeah.
But then I'd also like to think that they subscribed, they stayed around, not because I was talking about Reading Festival, but because of the guy that was talking about Reading Festival. You know,
you can never let your content outgrow the personality.
No,
like
exactly,
when Ray William Johnson, who obviously did =3 way back in the day. For anyone who doesn't know, he was the top dog on YouTube. Do you remember him?
I remember him.
Yeah, and he used to do a show called =3, which was basically one of the first shows that YouTube saw in which they look over and review the viral videos of the week. And then he was just making big bank and was getting all the views. And then one day he decided he just didn't want to do it anymore. Probably made too much money. So instead of letting the channel dry, he just swapped himself out for another presenter, and then the channel fucking dried up anyway, because they're not subscribing necessarily for the content, but for the person behind it. And for example, just to take Alex as an example, okay, we joke that he does these "we need to stop" videos all the time. That's him doing it. If he got somebody else to do that, is it still going to fly? You don't know. If somebody else makes a video about Zoella's advent calendar, is it going to fly? No. So it is very hard. But a rule of thumb, which I'm sure I've told you before, but for the listeners out there that may be struggling with a similar sort of thing of pigeonholing yourself accidentally, is if you want to succeed and maintain a living doing what you want on YouTube to an audience, then I think you need to do one video for you, which you want to make and you're happy to make, which keeps you sane ultimately, and 2 videos for them. And that's the format that I can't remember who told me. Somebody told me, but that's kind of something that I like to live by. So if I do a video talking about something that's passionate to me that doesn't necessarily get all the views, I know my next 2 videos are going to be about Alfie's new cookbook and Zoella's new slippers that are 48 quid, right? So that's how that works. So how many subscribers are you on now?
12,800 and something.
Okay, right, and you've been doing it for what, 6-7 years?
6 years, but this time last year I was on like 3. So it's literally like 2018 was where it kind of pushed on a fair bit.
What's been the best sort of experience to come out of it for you, or has anything mad happened so far?
I'll probably say the best thing, which is also the maddest and like weirdest thing, is when I go to Reading Festival, because obviously that's where a lot of my content is based. Regardless of like the size of my channel, because of my fan base is in such a concentrated area for a few days, it is phenomenal. I mean, like 2018, I was recognised 700, 800, 900 times, took hundreds of photos. The Wednesday night, this was probably one of the weirdest things. The Wednesday night, I was just at my camp. I was like, boys, just going for a piss, right? Yeah. Portaloo's like 5 minutes away. It took me an hour and a half, because going through the tents and getting to the toilets, oh my God, dude, you can have a picture. Oh my God, I love you stuff. And it's awesome, don't get me wrong. But it's just, and then I get into the toilet and there's a few fans waiting outside and they're all talking about me, and then obviously other people here, and I'll come out and there's like 30, 40 people waiting for me after I've just had a piss. Yeah. And
that must have been hard, especially like being on ketamine and shit like
that. Well,
that's
it. I mean, yeah.
None of it even happened.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, no. This is what I want.
One acid trip. Like,
yeah. I tipped
just security guards.
Yeah, I tipped the dealer after that. It was absolutely insane. I don't know what it would be like this year, because obviously I'm doing YouTube full time now. But 2017, it was absolutely mad. Oh my God, you know, and you feel like, oh my God, this feels awesome. Yeah. Tuesday, back at Pets at Home. So would you like a bag with that dog food, sir? And like psychologically, mate, you're up here, then you all of a sudden you're being like, you know, you're the guys selling dog food.
That's exactly like, where my next question was going to go. How do you deal with the harsh reality of for that 4 or 5 days? You are practically famous for that 4 or 5 days, and then to come back and be a guy that's working at Pets at Home, as you say, that's in your bedroom, that's making, I guess the festival content's gone now. Like how do you keep sane? Because I know it's on a much, much smaller level, but that's essentially why you have the Britney Spears meltdown of 2006 or whatever it was, and that's why you have all these. Again, I'm not saying you are Macaulay Culkin, but like that kind of vibe. Like you get given a taste. Yeah. If you never have the taste, you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, but if you get given a little bit and then snatched away, how do you come back down,
mate? 2017, 2018. I dropped into depression. Yeah, that was it. Like that, and I do put it down to that, because it is psychologically, I just couldn't handle it. Yeah. Like that's why I'm slightly more optimistic for this year, because I think I'm not because it's like that's like the dream. Like I never aspired for like recognition or anything. I just wanted to be able to do it like full time. But
Yeah.
when you get that, when you have people shouting your name, when you have people crying because they see you, you know, when you hear the stories about like how your videos helped them through shit times and stuff, you know, it means a lot, and it makes it all worthwhile. You know, because I'm sure you understand when you know when you're making content and stuff, or you don't know what content to make, or you don't know if your content's good enough and things like that. You do constantly question yourself and doubt yourself. So when you do get that kind of not even recognition, but just praise in person, you actually see physically that you have actually made someone happy.
Yeah,
you know, from what you do. Because at the end of the day, we're entertainers, and that's what we're trying to do. And when you realise that you have achieved that, it does put you on a massive high. And so then, in the past, for the last 2 years, because I was 2 years ago working at Pets at Home, and then a year ago, at the end of 2018's Reading, I was working in a bar. When you go back to normality from such a ridiculous high, and everyone knowing who you are and stuff, I couldn't handle it. I really couldn't, and I did plunge into depression without a shadow of a doubt. And it took a while, especially in 2017. 2017, even though it was on a lower level, funnily enough, that was the one that really hit me hard.
Because that was your first taste. That was
100%,
your first taste.
yeah.
And I've had it to a certain, not so much the sharp contrast, because you're going from, I don't want to say nothing and sound patronising, but you're basically going from all or nothing.
Yeah,
basically.
And also, mate, what I fully understand, which is another reason why I'm trying to really broaden, is festival content is extremely seasonal.
Yeah.
Extremely seasonal, man. Like June, July, August, half of September. It's like, everyone gives a shit, this is quality. And then end of September, all the way through.
Drop off.
No one gives a fuck, mate. And it's like, that's another reason why, like, I also feel, do you know what? I do need to be selfish, because A, it's the best for the channel. It's the best for me. And also, like, should I really cater to be something that is only actually cared about for 3 months of the year?
No, definitely.
You know?
That's not.
That's it. 100%.
Doesn't benefit anyone.
No.
Really.